Hi everyone, we're back here for another week of planetary weather forecasts to see what are the planetary energy is like this upcoming week, and we'll follow up with a collective tarot card reading. So this week we have a lot. So I've decided to mention all of them here, but then I probably will do a separate videos for some of them, because here we go. Most of them are happening around the same time. So the first one we have is our Cancer full moon, our first full moon in 2022, and it is a very comfortable and not comfortable because Cancer's ruler is moon, so it's very comfortable in the sign of Cancer, and it's happening on 18th Hong Kong time, 7:48 a.m. So it's happening on the 17th, 6:48 p.m. Eastern time, so adjust your location depending on where you are. So this full moon is quite intense. It's emotional because of a lot of aspects that is making during that time. So I will do a separate video on it because I feel like it is important, and so we'll talk more about it over there. But just to touch on it here is that take care of yourself, let yourself feel whatever emotion that comes up. Know that they are all valid and honor them. Don't suppress them. Don't try to force yourself to avoid them, because that will just make you feel worse. So the best is to love yourself, to give yourself that space and time to really just sit with those emotions, see what they bring up, see why are you feeling them, and just embrace it and release them. Because if you don't embrace, how can you face and process them? And this is the beautiful thing of human emotion, is such a thing that we cannot use word to describe sometimes, but all we have to do is allow ourselves to feel, to really engage, even though it can be scary, it can be uncomfortable, but it is through that we can really know how are we really feeling and what do we really want, why are they coming up. They're all message that for us to know, to investigate. Why are we feeling that, and how can we move through it? So this weekend, or this whole week, actually there's no set time in stone, because the energy doesn't just happen right on the time I tell you. It can be coming up for the past few days, and it can continue to linger the following few days. So just take notes of whatever you're feeling. Sit with them, embrace them. They're all your feelings, so they're part of you, so honor them. See what message they're bringing in for you, and process them and move through them in the way that makes you feel most comfortable, and so that you can know how you want to move forward. And then we'll move on to the next one. Shortly after that, on 18th, the planet of sudden change, revelations, innovations, a little bit of rebellion. The planet I'm talking about is Uranus. Yes, it's the last planet that's going direct. Finally, it's going direct today. So the planet of all this innovation, sudden change, finally going direct. What does it mean? It can bring up a surge of energy. Maybe that we might receive some sudden news on that day, or before and after. The energies are fluid, and now that it's going direct, maybe we'll see some unexpected news on social media or any platforms. we might receive information ourselves or within ourselves. Some revelations, aha moments. It can be a time where you actually have changes or ideas in your head that has been brewing, that you wanted to take action on or do some changes on. And now that Uranus is finally going direct, this is the time where you will feel a surge of energy. It's like a go time. It gives you that forward momentum to implement that change that you want. So it can feel like that. And let's see. Also, when Uranus is going direct, it is also making a square with Mercury, which is retrograding. So you might have some, like I said, some creative ideas or innovative ideas, thinking, thoughts that has been in your mind, or it might come up that day, or watch what comes up for you this few days. And it might be coming out from nowhere, because that's what Uranus do. It's out of the blue information or changes that comes up for us. That's how Uranus bring in the message to us. So watch out for those. And also Uranus can also bring up a surge of energy, but also maybe a little bit of anxiousness. So watch out for that. If that comes up for you, just move through the energy. You know, maybe you can do that by something physical, like movement, you know, yoga, dancing, running, exercising, meditating. Or for some people, maybe it is through writing it out. Maybe whatever comes up for you, write it out or record it or say it or communicate it with a friend. So it will be interesting to see what comes up for us during that time. So also on the 18th, another very big planetary transit that we have is the Nodal Change, which I think I might want to do a separate video about. I'm not too sure yet, but I'll explain them really quickly here if I can. So Nodal Change. So every 18 months, the node change signs. So for the past 18 months, if you have been listening to my videos, I think I talked about one of them when we have the last eclipse in Sagittarius, the solar eclipse, I believe in December 4th. That wrapped up the past 18 months nodes, where the North Node was in Gemini and the South Node was in Sagittarius. So now, finally, after 18 months, the lunar node shift and move to the next sign. So the North Node will now move to Taurus and the South Node will move to Scorpio. So what does that mean? It means that for the coming 18 months, so to be exact, it will be from January 18 to July 13, 2023. It will give us a new theme to work on in our human stories. Individually and as a collective, we will be working with a new set of nodes. And that also means that we will have a new 18 months of eclipse that is centering around the two signs as well, Taurus and Scorpio, because they are like the opposite signs. So we'll be working on this Scorpio and Taurus axis for the next 18 months. So the themes and stories, things that are governed by these two signs will probably come up more as a collective and individually. Individually, you will have to see what house are they in your natal chart, so you can have a better understanding how that energy plays out for you individually. In my other video, I want to do a more detailed explanation in that, and I just really feel called and the need to also do a collective reading to see what kind of energies, lessons, themes that we'll be working with for this upcoming 18 months. So it will be very interesting to see what comes up for us. So I'll see you over there, and then we'll move on to the next one, because there's just quite a few big aspect that's going on, which is the ones that I just mentioned. And then on the 19th, the next day, Aquarius season begin. Well, depending where you are in the world, it is on the 20th morning, 10:39 in Hong Kong time, and it is on 19th 9:39 p.m. Eastern time. So depending where you are in the world, we are kicking off with another season. We're moving from Capricorn, and the sun moves into Aquarius right now. So every time when the sun moves to another sign, it will bring up that sign's energy come up, and we can see that energy played out individually for us and as a collective. So Aquarius is the future forward-thinking signs. It's innovative. It's also a little bit rebellious, and it can seem detached sometimes because it's very heavy in the mind. Is thinking about the collective, is the humanitarian, where it likes to see what's working in the collective and what's not. And if something's not working, or if there's a need of change or innovation, Aquarius is not afraid to break down the structure to restart or create a new one to replace it. And of course, each sign has their light and shadow side. So the shadow side can be that it can be quite into their own mind all the time, because Aquarius is the fixed air sign. It's quite weird, right? It's air, airy, but it's fixed. So what does that mean? It means that sometimes they can be quite fixated into their own mind, the ideas that they have, and it can be quite hard for them to let it go sometimes, and they might really want to communicate that, but it can feel like they are forcing those ideas onto others sometimes when they do that. So watch out for that tendency if that comes up for you during this period of time. And but sometimes for them, I'm just doing it for the greater good. Why can't you see it? So it can be something like that sometimes. So it is a good time during Aquarius season to do some brainstorming. You might feel a little bit more creative and innovative. Maybe there are routines in your life, areas in your life that you might wanting to do a little bit of innovative change to it, or be a bit creative about it. Or you might actually want to start something new, like totally erase your whatever routine you're having and start or try something new. So it can be something like that. So keep an open mind, see what comes up in your brain. Maybe you'll have some brilliant innovative idea and share with your friends, and be open mind and see what comes up for you and others. So this week, I feel like we might see an increase of Mars and Sagittarius energy coming up as well, because Mars is wrapping up its journey in Sagittarius. It will move to the next sign, Capricorn, next Monday. So whenever a planet is at the end of that sign, the energy can be more intense. So we might see a little bit surge of that Martian in Sagittarius energy this week, as well as it's wrapping up its journey. So we might feel a little bit frustrated more easily. So watch out for your temper. remember to stay calm and try to not let yourself get too frustrated easily. And there might be some delayed in travels or traffic, especially long distance ones, so watch out for that. And so don't pack your schedule too tight. And Mars in Sagittarius might have a little bit tendency of wanting to do too many things, and so remember to pace yourself, to give yourself a little bit more time in between everything that you're doing. And if you're finding yourself getting frustrated easily, just take a deep breath. And lastly, on January 23rd, Sunday, we will have a Mercury Kassimi. So that happens, a Kassimi happens when the planet is going right, passing through the sun, and is right in the center of the sun. So the sun is like shining on that planet. So, and this is a beautiful aspect because the sun is fully illuminating the planet, and it is going to be a Mercury Kassimi. So it is the planet of communication and our thoughts. And it can be a day where we might receive some information, we might receive some new insights, information, communication, or we might be the one giving that to the other person. And it might be regarding to our own Mercury retrograde stories that we are working with, as Mercury started retrograding on 14th. So you can see what comes up during that time. Maybe it will help you to process the information, thoughts that you have been processing. And remember, this Mercury retrograde in Aquarius and Capricorn is all about rethinking, re-evaluating your thoughts and structure, the way you think, the way you see the structures in your life and in the society as a collective. And Mercury retrograde is here in Aquarius and Capricorn to let you know that there's no need to put limit to your thoughts sometimes. There might be a push and pull between the new and old. So see what comes up for you during that time. They are there for you to reevaluate, to rethink, so that you can do the best decision as you move forward later on too, when Mercury station direct. So I think that's about it for this part. So now we'll move to the tarot card reading. Hey everyone, so we're here to do the collective reading for this upcoming week, January 17th to 23rd. All the cards have been shuffled and meditated. So remember, this is a general reading. It will not resonate with everybody. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Feel free to come back after the weekends to see if more message resonates with you. And feel free to message me, email me if you want a private reading. Follow me on Instagram, where I share a lot more about what I do as well. And all the information is in the description box below. And let us begin. What's the message for the collective this upcoming week, January 17th to 23rd? What does the collective need to know? Usually I just take 6 cards, but I just feel like somehow this is the message we need to know. So here we are. I'm getting a lot of messages, many messages, many storylines and scenarios here right now. So just give me a minute to hone into the energies. It's quite intense. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot of planetary shifts happening this week, and with the pretty intense emotional Cancer full moon that has been reflected here right now, we can see a lot of emotions out here. So we'll look at it one by one. So I can see a few different storyline here as I'm reading for the collective. So I'm channeling a lot of messages right now. So for us, with Mercury and Venus both retrograding, and also with the full moon in Cancer, some of us are really in the fields, and I've noticed that too around some of my close friends. So I'm really sending you so much love. Whatever you're going through, you're feeling, just know that, I know it sounds like a broken record, but you're not alone. You're really not alone. There are people that really truly care about you and love you. And if you feel like you don't have anybody, you do. And guess what? The most important relationship we have is the one with ourselves. Can you love and talk to yourself, communicate with yourself, be honest and truthful to what you truly are feeling, and let those emotions move through you? So for some of us, this week we can be quite emotional. We can be feeling a little bit up and down emotionally. And just understand that if this week things didn't fall through, things happen that didn't go the way you wanted, understand that sometimes it is for the better, because it is making space for something better to come in. For some of us, this week seems pretty triumphant with Uranus going direct. For some of us, there are ideas you've really been thinking, and maybe it is regarding to business or work area, projects that you've been maybe working with, or clients you have been negotiating about some kind of projects or work that you've been doing. Or it can be you negotiating with your boss regarding to your work area. And this week I see success. I see you really communicating your point of view. And when you really open up and communicate that, it brings in success for you. Maybe you get that client, you'll get that project, and maybe the boss will agree with you this week. So for some of us, congratulations, speak up, because speaking up will get you what you want regarding to work. For some of us this week, maybe you have some little creative juice brewing within you. I see that for some of us, for some of you, you might have some creative insights, aha moments, innovative ideas that came in for you, whether it is regarding to work or simply about your personal life. You gain some new ideas, or it can be actually a communication or information that came in for you, and it brings you some kind of joy. So that's really good. And for some of us, yes, not everyone is experiencing the same thing, and for some of us, it can be quite an emotional week, maybe through a communication. For some of us, it is about ending something in order to find the balance within ourselves again. So for some of us, whether it is regarding to a relationship, a friendship, it can be communication between you and a loved one, your family members or friends. It can be work too. I feel more of a friendship, family member or relationship here, that you know something might be out of balance and you are not feeling the reciprocations, and maybe the both of you are not on the same page, and there's a need to find a balance. So this week is about communicating that. And remember, we have Venus and Mercury retrograding, so I'm not surprised to see that. Just remember, if you're really, communicating and expressing yourself, communicate clearly and really be honest about how you're really feeling, what you're feeling, what you want to communicate. Communicate your needs, your emotions, your feelings. And because no one else other than yourself know how you're truly feeling and what you truly want. So be brave, communicate that so the other person actually know what you want. Because I see that even though it feels difficult, it feels sad, imbalanced, and it might even frustrate some of you, I do see that once you take that step to really honestly communicate, something good is going to come out of it. Whether it is to mend a relationship or actually to just communicate so that you can have a closure for the both of you, so that you can both move on to the next stage of your life, regarding to a friendship, a relationship, or with a family member. This week, I think for some of you, it is about really being honest with yourself and communicate that. So I see a few different scenarios here. And for a small group of you, it is actually to get out of your head, to really communicate what you really want, to get what you want. So, and I see a happy ending for some of us, for some of you. So yeah, there's like a few different scenario storyline, because again, I'm reading for the collective, so there's a lot of stories coming out from these cards. So hopefully one of them is resonating with you, and if it is, let me know. I would love to know. So let's see if we get any additional message, guidance, advice from our oracle decks here. So let me get all the cards from the oracle deck and then we'll talk about it. Oof. Okay, there's a lot. Fine, we'll get them all. Whoa. Okay, here we go. Wow. Okay. Really supporting the reading. Love, love, love. And just now when I was shuffling, I also heard another message is that for some of us here, you might feel like it is hard for you to communicate your truth, but Spirit wants you to know that if you can be honest with yourself and be fearless to really speak your truth, this is the time to do that because it is actually not as hard as you think. So I hope this reading is giving you a little confirmation and a little confident boost to communicate whatever it is that you want here right now. So let's look at all the cards and see how they all tie together with the reading. So first, we have the Moonology card here, which I really like because it resonates with the planetary transits. All these are. So first we have release your blocks. And then we have think it through and take a reality check. So with Mercury retrograde, really remember to think it through how you want to say it and to communicate clearly and be honest with your words. And it is a time be truthful to yourself, really to see what it is that you want. Because full moon in Cancer, when you have a full moon, is illuminating is shedding light in all the areas. So, and with Pluto oppositing the new moon, it is to shed lights, to have a reality check. It's time to face those hidden feelings, emotions that you've been avoiding. It is time to release those blocks, to really look at them, to face them. Know that you have everything you need within you. You have that power within you. Oh, here you go. I just said it. Be fearless and bold, badger spirits. Starfish spirit, open to infinite possibility. Coyote spirit, trust in divine detours, and brown bear spirit, take time out. I love this. Okay. So just now, what I just said is release your blocks. If this is the week you have been sitting on it already, you have been trying to avoid it, and this is the week to really to be fearless and bold, to release your own block, which is actually yourself, right? And to really communicate or to face the emotions, to process them, and be open to infinite possibilities. Sometimes we make up all the scenario stories in our own mind before we even want to process anything or communicate anything. And that's like the worst thing we can do to ourselves, right? And know that stop it, right? Just do what you want to do. And yeah, even though things might not happen the way you want it, still remember, if things didn't happen the way you wanted, it is for a reason. Trust in divine detours, redirection, and all that, because it is to make space for something better, something that truly aligns with you to come in. And also, other than, I know for some of you, I keep saying, if you want to take the action and all that thing. But also remember to take care of yourself as well. with this full moon in Cancer, it can be extra emotional for some of us. Take time out to take care of yourself, to nurture yourself, and to really rest too. And here we have the wisdom of the Oracle deck. I was going to just get one, but you all saw that it flew out. So we'll take both of them. And again, this is resonating the full moon and Cancer energy. This is a card number 2, Yin. Cancer is a Yin sign. So is the opposite sign, Capricorn, which we always tend to just embrace the shadow side of it, which is always on the gold mode. It is about climbing the corporate ladder. It is about working hard and all that. But Cancer is here reminding us, hey, no, it's not all about that. It is also about taking the time for us to rest, to come back to ourselves, our own self, our own home, to process our own emotions, feelings, and to be on the more receptive side of us. So this is really resonating the planetary energy that we're experiencing this week, which is one of the big one, which is the Cancer full moon. And here we have card 47, go to the distance. We can see this cheetah really like running. It is the fastest animal, and is about to cross the finish line. And it really symbolizing that for some of us, it is really at the end of that journey. You have been sitting with those emotions, those feelings that you want to communicate. Maybe this is really the week where you go to the distance. You're really gonna go do it. It's so close to the finish line, right? It is really time to take that step, be bold and fearless, and release your block with it, which might be yourself, and to really communicate to the person, to your boss, if it's regarding to work, friends, if it's a friendship, or family members. Because if you just sit there, you never know what's gonna happen, right? So I want to read from the guidebook for you, the oracle message as well. So card number 2, Yin. The feminine principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking in cues, the art of conscious allowing. So it is also Venus and Mercury retrograde, right? Maybe during this time you are gathering information, you're processing it internally, and with this full moon in Cancer, it is about also maybe receiving information as well. This is a time of calculated receptivity as you gracefully await what is coming to you, ready to accept it and when it happens. Yin does not involve frozen dreams or even resting, but rather consciously allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty that will be made available to you. It implies sensitivity as you already study the actions of the others and contemplate how they will affect you and yours. Remember, you must make space for miracles to appear. Be the shaped, not shaper, and you'll see how quickly your dreams manifest. So for some of us, we might be on the other side of the story. We might be the one who's receiving information this week, right? And for some of us, it is the other side that is the one who's communicating. So depending what your story is, what you're working on, which part of the retrograding stories you are on, so everyone might experience it a bit differently. And then here we have card 47, go the distance. Endurance, strength, the long haul. To bring your dreams to life, You must think long-term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there's no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have the endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. So for some of us, it is, again, to be honest with yourself, right? To be authentically you, to know what you want and want to communicate. And for some of us, maybe we don't feel ready to communicate yet, as Mercury and Venus are still retrograding, and it is totally okay. Maybe this new moon in Cancer is shedding light to more information that you know, so that you can get the whole picture of what you are working with, what you want to communicate, the emotions and feeling that you're facing, that you have to process and embrace in order for you to fully prepare yourself to break free, to communicate, to reach out when you're ready. So I hope this message resonates, this reading resonates. If it does, please let me know, and please like and share the video. It really helped to get the message out, and this is why I create this channel. I really hope to create a community and to share this message out to more people. So feel free to comment. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you again next week.